Today we're going to talk about data collection and how it's important for the company to have the right type of data as well as why we're collecting data. We'll go through each one of these. What I've noticed with companies a lot of times, including myself over the years, just being able to organize data that we get in is very important as far as customer data. Because we could take that information and turn it into a sale in the future. And I want to give you some examples of this that you can kind of give you an idea how important this is. First of all, when a phone call comes in, we need to know where that comes from. So we spend marketing money, we network with people, and it's important to know where that phone call comes from. So if it's marketing and we spend money on Google AdWords, well, how many are we getting in per month, and how much is this costing us per acquisition? So every time we sell a job, it may be costing us $20 per customer. We don't know unless we track that marketing. So marketing, where we're getting it from, is it from website? Is it from person we're networking with? Is it coming from Google AdWords? Is it coming from SendGem? We need to know that so we can do a return on investment, ROI, on how much we're spending and how much we're getting back in return. Plus, if it's somebody you're networking with, it gives you an opportunity to reach out to thank them for the lead that they gave you and continue that relationship with them to build long-term relationships with them. The next one is neighborhoods. You go into a neighborhood, you do a job for a client, and they have friends or family or coworkers that may need the product. Trying to get their information from them is critical if you can, so we can email them some information about the product or services that we carry. What I've noticed with a lot of companies is, you'll get somebody's business card, but then you lose it, or they get your information, you give them a card, and you don't get their information. Extremely, extremely important that you get their information, because more likely they're going to lose your business card. It'll end up on the dash, under the seat, somewhere else, and now they don't know. 6 months from now, they can't remember who you are. So it's very critical that you get good information from them, and then we can organize it into our software programs. So what that information might be, of course, their name, their position, their telephone number, email address, those things, where they work at. So if they're an AC technicians, where are they located at? So all these things are critical so we can market to them in a certain way, because we're not going to talk to an AC guy through marketing like we would an interior designer. You got two different types of people. So when we send out a marketing campaign or a text, it may be different from one person to the next. So that's critical so we know who they are. Are they interior designers? Are they HVAC companies? Is it just a job we did and it's friends or family? So every email or whatever we send out will be, like, say, more customized for that. SendGem, same thing. You're in a neighborhood, you do a job, and you notice the 3 or 4 houses in that area could use some film because they're facing east and west. Got a lot of glass, same situation. Bringing that back so we can drop that information into SendGem to be able to send them a postcard. Condo units, same way. I mean, it's critical. East and west exposures in these condos are the ones that are going to get the best return on their investment. So being able to get those addresses so we can come back, those unit numbers, so then we can come back and the office can look up the address for that condo. We could send them another postcard out. Networking opportunities, like I was saying before, interior designers, window cleaners, all that, to be able to take that information and use it, because think about, your network is your net worth. So you imagine if that interior designer sent you 10 jobs a year and $1,000 a piece, that's $10,000 in revenue. What's that in your pocket? So those are the things you have to look at. That's why data collection is so important. Future opportunities. You may run across a building that's being built and you're like, hey man, I noticed this building could use some film on it because of it's got, like I say, a lot of glass in it. And so we could take that data, put it in our customer factor, and put a reminder date on it to check on it in the future. So that's another opportunity that you can be able to produce more income for yourself as a salesperson. Location. So the location, where is this data going? So it comes back to the office. So you kind of know what we're doing with it. Constant Contact is our email blast software program. So we have them all categorized through our database. Some might be schools, some might be interior designers, HVAC companies, all these different entities that we deal with. We could take that and say if it's an interior designer, it could go into a part of the content for interior designers. So when I send out an email blast, it's specifically marketing to that demographics of people we're networking with. So that's why when we get it, it's important. The customer factor. So you meet, say, Joe that owns a cleaning company, does window cleaning. Well, then you can put a cycle in there, a sales cycle, so you know to follow up, maybe send them some information that you just talked to them about. You email and say, hey, Joe, I appreciate, nice meeting you the other day. Here's some information for you that you may want to educate you about our products or share with your customers. And then we can put a reminder on there, and a month from now, do a follow-up. Hey, man, I just want to follow up, see if you had anybody that was looking for our services. And in the meantime, you're trying to find them projects too for their particular service that they're providing. You never know, you may run in a house that's 2-story and the customer hadn't cleaned the windows in 10 years. Perfect opportunity to send Joe the lead. Well, now you got all this contact information there. The customer factor tells you when you type in there the last time you talked to them, what you sent to them, did you email them, did you call them, did you go by and talk, go by physically and talk to them. So you can accumulate this data and you can kind of keep to a good sales cycle going on with that customer. The thing about that, what happens is we get really busy and we forget about people. And if you don't water the garden, guess what's going to happen? It's going to die out. So that's why it's very critical to put this information in there to keep watering the garden to that client. And that's what's so awesome about these new software programs, that you can put it on automatic pilot and it'll do a lot of stuff for you, but you have to have the data and you have to set it up for that. But this is why data is important, because when you build a big database, and we got 500-600 people we're working with, that's why even with our QuickBooks, we can take the QuickBook of our past customers and even send them out something. Say it's we're selling a new service or product, we can go back and just pull that data and send it to them, and it might be window cleaning, say, would be an example. Just use that as an analogy, a service we're offering now, or anything. So, but that's why it's very important to bring back data to be able to put it in our software program, so we have the control to be able to send things out to these people we're networking with, past customers, or potential leads in the future. But that's why, like I say, it's very important to get that data back to us that day. You could text it to the office saying, hey, this is the information, this is who these people are, and we'll know exactly where to put it in the database, and then you don't have to mess with it. But anyway, just kind of give you an idea what database collection is all about.